Hey, this is Dr. Berry. You've suffered with heartburn, reflux, and GERD for long enough. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail in this video to tell you how you can get immediate relief, how you can get off that daily pill, and then how you can basically fix or cure your heartburn symptoms from now on. So, if you know someone who suffers daily from heartburn, from reflux, from GERD, please share this with them on their social media. Share it on Instagram, share it on their Facebook, right? Share it on Twitter because so many people are suffering from this. And it's not just that it's severe daily pain, it can also increase the risk of esophageal cancer. So it's a big deal. So please share this if you know someone like that. Now, let's talk about why you want to get off that daily pill. If you're taking Prevacid, Nexium, Prilosec, Pepcid, Zantac, any of those guys, what that's doing is blocking the acid producing cells in your stomach. One of them is a proton pump inhibitor, the other is an H2 inhibitor. And so here's why that's bad. Your stomach is supposed to have acid in it, right? That's how you, number one, digest your food. And number two, that's how you protect your gut from bad bacteria. The very low pH in your stomach, which is from 1 to 3, which is very, very low, very acidic, is supposed to be there. And so you might have seen the heartburn commercials and think, well, I need to block that acid. Acid is bad. You know, if you put acid on your hand or get acid in your eye, that's really, really bad. But in your stomach, very strong acid is good. That's what you want. That's how you digest your food. And that's a barrier to bad bacteria to keep them out of your body. So if you're taking any of those medications, you want to wean those down and stop those. You can't stop them cold turkey or all at once. If you do that, you're going to have severe rebound reflux, severe heartburn. And so most people have to start taking them every other day while they're implementing the other strategies that I'm going to list in this video, and then maybe go to even every third day. And then in the future, when you have a severe flare up of heartburn, until the 7 permanent solutions that I'm going to talk about later in this video, until you've implemented those, you may have to take your Nexium or your Pepcid for 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row, but then stop. You don't want to take that forever and ever and ever, because when they chronically block your stomach acid, you're not able to absorb minerals and vitamins and other nutrients, because the acid is what helps you to absorb those. You break them down so you can absorb them. And if you've blocked all your stomach acid, that's a problem. Okay, it can actually lead to increased risk of pneumonia. It can lead to increased risk of osteoporosis, and it can even lead to dementia, like Alzheimer's. Yeah, taking Prevacid, Prilosec, Pepcid, Zantac every single day for years and years can increase your risk of Alzheimer's dementia. Big deal. So you don't want to be taking those if at all possible. It's fine to take them for a week or for 2 weeks or just rarely every now and then. They're perfectly safe if you take them that way. But so many people have gotten used to taking them every day and just thoughtlessly take that pill every day. That is a bad plan. Please work on stopping that. So, as I said, your stomach is supposed to be full of very strong acid all the time. It's actually uh, it's actually has a snot coat inside that coats the inside of your stomach, that protects the actual meat of your stomach from the acid. So it's perfectly happy to have an acid with a pH of 2 in it all day, every day for your entire life. It loves that. That's no problem for your stomach. Your esophagus, which is the food tube, right, that goes from your mouth down to your stomach, is made to handle an occasional splash of this acid, but it's not made to have this acid touching it all the time. It has a little bit of a snot coat, but not much. And so if you have too many splashes of acid, you'll start to have this classic heartburn. And so that's why we've got to do things that'll keep a lower stomach pressure. We've got to do things that'll keep the pH in your esophagus a little higher so that it's not having that super low pH or strong acid. And we got to do things that'll keep the gut bacteria properly managed. Those are what we're trying to do. And so now let's talk about temporary fixes. And so if you're suffering from heartburn right now, here's a list of things you can do right now that will make your heartburn better. These are not long-term solutions. These are not things that are going to fix it permanently. They're just going to help you right now, okay? So here we go. The first thing that you've probably heard about before is apple cider vinegar. And you want to get the real apple cider vinegar with the mother, which is that cloudy stuff in the bottom. And you can just take a swig of it or take a shot of it like my sweet wife Nisha does, or you can dilute a couple of tablespoons in a glass of water like I do. Either way, that's going to immediately help make your heartburn better. You can chew gum. Some people just chewing gum makes their heartburn better. That's a good temporary fix. There are some licorice chews. Licorice seems to coat the esophagus very well, and I'll put a link to these things that I talk about down below. So if you want to check them out, you can click on the link. So licorice chews, chewing gum, baking soda, a tablespoon of baking soda. And then if you can actually add that in a glass of water, that will calm down the symptoms because baking soda has a pH of 7. And so when you drink that as it coats the esophagus, it's going to raise the pH and basically dilute the acid in your esophagus. Now, it also raises the pH in your stomach. And so back again, we want a very low pH. We want a strong acid in our stomach. And so if you use baking soda 3 times a day every day, that's not a good solution because, again, you won't be absorbing your vitamins and your minerals. Chewing on a little piece of ginger root, that's a great strategy. A lot of people with chronic reflux or heartburn will just keep a piece of ginger root in the fridge and just slice off a tiny piece and chew it when they have heartburn. That works very well. Another thing back when I had chronic heartburn every day is if I took a pinch of real salt, like Redmond's real salt or just an unprocessed sea salt, and put it on my tongue, that would make the heartburn so much better. I'm not sure how that works, but I know it does. So those are some things that you can do right now to help your heartburn. But I want to fix your heartburn long term, and that's why I'm about to give you 7 ways to actually fix the heartburn because that's what we're trying to do here, okay? So here's the list of the 7 long-term or fixes or cures, however you want to think about this, for your severe heartburn, reflux, GERD. Number 1 is you've got to eat a very uninflammatory diet. Now, back when I used to drink milk and eat lots of grains, I had terrible heartburn all the time. I had to take something every day for my heartburn. And I noticed when I stopped drinking liquid dairy and when I stopped eating grains, my heartburn got 90% better. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to get cheap processed food out of your diet. You want to get liquid dairy out of your diet. You never want to drink milk. Milk is for baby cows. It's not for humans, or definitely not for grown humans. And you want to get all the grains out of your diet, including rice, oatmeal, corn, wheat. Any of those guys are going to be inflammatory to your gut, and they're going to lead to weight gain, and they're also going to lead to inflammation in the gut, which will lead to heartburn. So you've got to eat a good uninflammatory diet, like a low carb, high fat, or a ketogenic diet. Some people even notice that they have to go carnivore to get completely rid of their terrible heartburn. The next thing is you've got to lose weight. Because one of the things we're trying to do, as I talked about earlier, we're trying to keep a higher pH or less acid in the esophagus. And one of the ways to do that is to decrease the abdominal pressure. If somebody's bouncing up and down on your stomach, that's probably going to lead to reflux, right? Because it increases the intra-abdominal pressure. When you have that pot belly, that's increasing your intra-abdominal pressure, and that's going to make it more likely that acid will come up into your esophagus, and that's going to cause the heartburn. So you want to lose some weight, and you can do that with, number 1, eating low carb, high fat, eating keto, or even eating carnivore. All those things are going to help you lose weight and decrease the inflammation. Number 3 is very important right now. And so if you are currently having heartburn every day, you need to stop eating and drinking 2 hours before you lie down flat at night in bed. Because between your esophagus and your stomach is a little muscle called a sphincter. It's actually the lower esophageal sphincter, and it's supposed to stay closed all the time. But if you have dysfunction in this, it might be partially open. And when you're upright, like I'm sitting up right now, you won't have much trouble. But when you lie down flat in bed, Then the acid is able to leak through the dysfunctional sphincter, right, and get back up into your esophagus. And although you may not have symptoms during the night, you may not feel the heartburn because you're asleep. That's when a lot of the damage and the inflammation is being done, and then you'll suffer the symptoms the next day. So you want to stop all food and liquid by mouth 2 hours at least before you lie down for bed at night. Some people's heartburn is so bad they have to sleep in a recliner so that they're sleeping like this. But I want you to be able to sleep flat in bed because that's the way humans are supposed to sleep. And to do that, you got to stop eating and drinking 2 hours before bedtime. Now, number 4 is a trick that I've actually done in my own bedroom before. And you can do this. It's very cheap and it's very easy. If you'll get 2 bricks or 2 pieces of wood that are anywhere from 2 to 4 inches tall or thick, and put one under each head post of your bed so that you raise the entire head of the bed up just a little bit. It's not going to be enough to affect your sleep. It's going to be just enough, though, because remember that acid in your stomach and the acid in your esophagus that you don't want there is a liquid, and liquid has to follow the law of gravity. And so when you raise the head of the bed, it's going to tend to stay down in your stomach where you want it to stay. Does that make sense? And so for years, the head of our bed was elevated like this, and Nisha didn't even know. And so she kind of got a little triggered when she found out that I'd done that without asking her. What doesn't work like this is if you just sleep on more pillows, because it can actually hunch you and increase your intra-abdominal pressure, which is not going to solve the problem. Some beds will actually do this at the head. That also tends to increase the intra-abdominal pressure a little. You want to raise the entire frame of the bed up anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, and that'll keep the acid down where it belongs. Very cheap, very easy, and I've had multiple patients in my clinic be able to stop taking their proton pump inhibitors or their H2 blockers because of this one trick alone. And so it saved them hundreds of dollars and protected them from osteoporosis, pneumonia, and Alzheimer's dementia just by elevating the head of their bed. The next one is if you're a smoker, and I know you're like, here it comes, right? You got to quit smoking. Smoking inflames and irritates the stomach lining, and it also relaxes that sphincter we talked about. And so it makes it more likely that acid can splash up into your esophagus or leak up into your esophagus while you're lying flat at night. Dude, you got to quit smoking. Come on. You got to stop that. There are 3 things, and this is number 6. There are 3 things that will relax that sphincter, okay? When you swallow, the peristalsis of the kind of the peristalsis coming down makes it open, and that's normal. That's supposed to do that, but then it's supposed to close back up. 3 substances will relax it and make it stay open when it shouldn't be open. They're nicotine, stop smoking, caffeine. Yeah, I know, right? So maybe too much caffeine may be part of the problem. And then alcohol. Alcohol. Too much alcohol can definitely lead to heartburn and reflux. And so at least right now, until you've got a long-term solution, you definitely need to stop the nicotine, but you may need to temporarily stop the caffeine and the alcohol until you've used some of these other strategies to permanently cure your heartburn. Then you can maybe go back to having an occasional alcoholic drink or having some coffee in the morning. But for right now, you may need to stop those. But definitely, you got to stop smoking, dude. Come on. Come on. Okay, number 7 is take a good quality probiotic. And you guys may know I don't recommend ever buying a probiotic from China Mart. It's not going to ever help you. You want to go to a good reputable health food store or a store like GNC that their reputation is based on having good supplements and good probiotics. Usually the best probiotics are kept in the cooler because there's living bacteria in there, right? And so they probably need to be kept in the cooler so they don't all die. If you buy a chalky tablet that's been sitting on the shelf for 6 months, how can there possibly be living bacteria in that? So get your probiotics from a good reputable source. Now, here's a bonus tip. Remember we talked about the increased intra-abdominal pressure? So another thing that will do that is if you wear clothes around your abdomen that are too tight, like a girdle, or you guys, if you're putting your belt too tight, trying to make your waist look smaller, that can actually increase intra-abdominal pressure and lead to worsened heartburn and reflux. So wear loose-fitting clothes around your abdomen. If you're wanting to make your abdomen look smaller, then refer back up to tip number 1, which is to eat low-carb, high-fat, keto, carnivore, and lose the weight. That would be the way to make your waist look smaller. You ladies, if you've got a little belly pooch, Don't wear a girdle because if you're having heartburn symptoms, rather go back to step number one and eat low carb, high fat, keto, carnivore and lose the extra pudge. And then you won't have to worry about the girdle anymore, right? So there are 7 great tips to fix your heartburn and a bonus tip. If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the subscribe button. And then also there's a little bell button right beside that. If you click that, every time I get a bright idea, you'll get a notification, right? Now, also, if you are interested in eating low carb, high fat, or AIP or keto, and you're the type person that needs a meal plan, Nisha and I finally found a meal plan service that we know and trust. It's put out by a lady that we know very well and trust her integrity. And so I'm going to include a link down below for the meal plan. If you're the type person that needs a meal plan, check this meal plan service out. Okay. This is Dr. Barry. I'll see you next time.